So today's theme is about the cheapest shave and that you've got on some of the online forums and stuff. So I figure I'd participate too. I do enjoy the less expensive products, especially when you can find them that are really good. In this case, we've got some meh and some good. Brush I'm going to be using today has been soaking for about an hour, and I think I've used it twice, so this is just the third time. And it's a Stirling Boar brush, factory seconds. It had a problem with the stamping of the logo, which I don't mind. And that cost me about $7, so that's about the cheapest brush I've got. The head on this guy is a Gillette Tech, and the triangle, I've got a blade in it, so I have to be careful where I hold it. The triangle holes, drain holes, the 4 of them, are indicative that it's a pre-war tech. So I really enjoy this particular head, and I got it for very little money, probably just $5 or $6 when I bought it. I didn't find the original handle, and so I've got another one. And then I've got one of my cheapest blades, and these are ones that Wilkinson Sword that I was going to buy off Amazon, and I just wanted to buy about 15 of them, 3 tucks, but for just a couple dollars more I could get 100, so I did. So they're my kind of go-to budget blade. They really usually do a good job. A respectable job for me in just about any razor I put them in. And the soap. Well, what are some of the cheapest soaps that come to mind that are still pretty reliable? You've got Arco, maybe one of the top. Doesn't smell all that great, but the performance is really, really nice. Lather is wonderful. Pretty easy to generate. Williams, another one, $1.29 or so. You can usually find it if you can find it in a grocery store or something like that. Lasts you 2 months. Arco lasts you 3, from what I understand. I know that Williams will last me 2 months, and gives me a great lather. A little harder to lather than Arco, but not too bad. And decent scent. I like the scent of the Williams better than Arco. So I imagine there's going to be some people today who do shaves on those soaps. Well, I'm going to go with the soap I got at the Dollar Tree and actually shaved for a while with, not this specific bar, Irish Spring. And it actually does a workable lather. It's not as nice as some of the other offerings at the Dollar Tree, but I've already got videos on those, and I don't have a video for Irish Spring. So I'm going to lather up today with Irish Spring for you. Just in case that's the only thing you've got in your bathroom at the time, you'll know one way to make it work. And I think I've introduced everything. Yes, this is my third use of my very cool shave bowl from Roger Quintero. He 3D printed it up for me, designed it, did a great job, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to splash my water on my face. This is a hard soap, as you would imagine. If you really want to use this, you can get a container, maybe a little Pyrex container or a ramekin, about anything, cereal bowl. And you can grate this with a cheese grater and then press those shavings down into whatever container you choose. But I'm just going to kind of palm lather it today, since I don't intend to turn this into a shaving soap. I'm just going to hold it like this, and we're going to load it for about, let's try 45 seconds. Okay, I'm going to shake most of the water, a lot of the water out. Oh, here comes 30. So here we go. This is actually dripping a good bit, so this is more like the Marco method, which is quite a wet soap loading method. And we started at 30, so 15 seconds has passed, and so we'll go until 15 of the next minute. I think it's not going to be able to be workable if I go sideways like that, so I'll have to lock it in this direction. Come on now. And so 15 seconds, and I'll go ahead and add 2 seconds since I mishandled the soap. And there we go. All right. My lathering skills may have actually improved since I last used the Irish Spring. So who knows, it might be even better. A little pre-wash here. Rinse off my hand. All right, so now let's take it to the bowl, start working, see what happens. Nice scent, I like that. And I can always go back to the bar just in case I need more soap. You could obviously treat this soap bar like a shaving stick. Wet your face, then rub it all over your face for a little while, and then take a wet brush and go at your face. That's how to use shave sticks. Just put in a teaspoon of water. Kind of made the lather come alive here. Go ahead and add another teaspoon, see what happens. How about that? Let's just check out the lather. It's very light, very little bit of cushion. Pretty good slickness. I can feel the ridges in my fingerprints there. Not bad. Yeah, it's a passable lather, I recall. I switched to the Yardley Shea Buttermilk, available at the Dollar Tree also, and that's where I experienced a creamy lather. It had whatever ingredient was necessary for that. All right, let's just see if I have enough. Why not? I can always go back to the puck if I need to. The bar. All right. And so I'm gonna rinse my face. Kind of call that a pre-wash. All right. So I've got videos on some other lathering techniques for cheap soaps. They don't really differ too much from the good soaps. I've got the Yardley that I mentioned before. I've got Pear's glycerin soap, which is a phenomenal lather, people. It's just got a weird medicinal smell. At least the scent that was at my Dollar Tree is that way. I've also got one that appeared at the Dollar Tree called from a brand name called Sugar Soap Works, and that's actually a good one too. That's a good lather. Look at this. Look at this lather. It's acting just like a normal lather and not like a bar of soap. All right. Now this pre-war tech, nice medium shaver. Some people think different techs will shave differently. You know, there's the pre and the post-war, and they do have a little bit different geometry and stuff. I think the pre-wars have a little bit more aggressive geometry, but they're still really mild on your face. But they just cut really efficiently. And so it's a great, I mean, if I had this razor for the rest of my life, I wouldn't mind it. Feels a very good, awesome piece of history. And it can give me a really good shave every time. I guess that's why they sold a bazillion of them. And there we go. And that didn't feel worse than other soaps that cost a lot more. That didn't feel as good as some of the nicer ones, but you know, that's to be expected for rinse time. As you would expect, not a creamy feel during the rinse, but slick nonetheless. Let's load up and get some more lather. And I'm going to kind of make sure there's not any extra water on my face, just in case. We don't want to drown the lather, because this is not a mixture that's too rich. This brush is being a little scrubby right now, probably due to the the soap being a little on the less creamy side. But it's also just a young boar brush, and that's just the way they are. So just to make sure I have enough lather, next time I might do a little bit longer instead of 45 seconds. Maybe go for a full minute. And that would probably give me an extra pass margin after I was done, just to make up for any problems or botched passes or something weird like that. All right, second pass. Holding the blade, the razor very loosely. One thing about these techs, if you have one and it doesn't give you a good shave, I mean, yeah, it's possible. You just may need something more aggressive. But to be honest, most people probably just haven't found the angle yet. Now this one, I don't know if it's hard to find the angle on, or if I just happen to have a natural feel for this particular angle. Maybe it matches some of the razor that I've used a lot, and so it's natural for me. But, or maybe it's the more mild version, the post-war ones. Maybe those are a little harder to find the angle on. But if you'll take your time and change the angle as you're working and feel it, then because it's a more mild razor, the angle window there is smaller than if it's a more aggressive razor. Because with a more aggressive razor, you've got the blade coming out just a little bit more beyond the two metal top cap and base plate, and so it's going to have a bigger angle tolerance for you to have. But if it's more mild, it's going to have a smaller range, and so it may take some practice, but you'll be rewarded with a very comfortable, smooth shave if you can find it. All right, excellent. Face feels great. All right, third pass, and I believe we're going to be able to dig up enough lather to do that third pass. I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. So in a sense, it was the 45 seconds is a good measure. I just like to have a little bit extra. Look at that. Look how good that lather is. It's giving me nice glide for the razor. So that means it's hydrated nicely. It's sticking to my skin and protecting me. Oh yeah, plenty of lather. Who'd have thunk it? There we go. And third pass. Now the Irish Spring is not going to have any of the shea butters and jojoba oils and all those kind of things you'll often find in modern current soaps. So I'm not saying you should sell all your artisan soaps and just stick with Irish Spring. But I'm saying if this is what you've got in your bathroom and you need to shave and you can't find anything else, then go for this. All right, third pass. Pretty good results. I see hair length on just a couple of hairs, mostly dots, signifying the tips. And I'm happy with that. So that's real nice. Since I can't go against the grain on my neck. All right, final rinse. So that's a very good shave for little cost. If you want a better lather, you can find some sticks of Arco, and that performance is going to jump exponentially. It'll be a slick, smooth, cushiony, creamy lather that you'll really enjoy. The scent is a little weird, so what I do is I shave mine, use a cheese grater and grate mine, and then let it sit out for a few weeks. Then I press it into the tub of my choosing, and a lot of that intense lemony industrial smell is gone, and so I'm just left with a very pleasant and well-performing soap. Williams is kind of similar. You can shred that one as well, grate it as well, since it's an actual hard soap. So those are some of the contestants. Another one might be the Prix de Provence number 63. It's a hard puck. It's not cheap at all, but it will last a lot longer than the 2 or 3 months that Williams and Arco will last. And so it may actually be a competitive soap. Sella may also be worth mentioning in this category if you buy the 1 kilogram block, and then you seal it up when you're not using it, and you cut off a chunk, put it in your soap bowl, and use that until it's gone, and then cut off another chunk, that sort of thing. That can get pretty low cost too, because you get 7 or 8 refills basically for that 1 kilogram chunk. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And that one, I find that one pretty easy to lather, a great scent, and a very, very nice lather. Very slick performing lather. So those are some options if you're going for some cheap stuff. I've already mentioned some of the Dollar Tree. A couple of the Dial soaps work pretty well. Kind of like the Irish Spring. They weren't creamy or anything, but very usable, very passable. I like the scent on the Irish Spring. I'd say maybe it's a 4 or 5 out of 10 in terms of strength, and everybody pretty much knows what this stuff smells like. All right, how much lather do we have left? I could do another pass with if I worked hard at getting this on my face. It's holding up. It's not drying out. Good little lather. We'll start cleaning up. All right, so third use now of this brush. Really happy with the handle. It is a shorter handle, but it's stout, it's thick, it's bigger than it looks in the photos on the web. But because of the shape, this is a very enjoyable shape for me to use as a bowl latherer. And it's easy to hold even when it gets wet. So in terms of handles that are this short, this is the shape I want right here because it works great. Really happy with it. Hopefully the bristles will soften up a little bit more over time. And I like the density. I like the fact that it's a 24 millimeter knot. Got a lot of boar hair in there, so that's very enjoyable. $7, can you believe that? Well, we're going cheapest shave, and so that means I'm whipping out this Gillette gel, Aftershave gel, and it's available for less than $2 at Walmart. I initially went for the Nivea post-shave balm, but that one's about $5, and this one beats it. The white version of this has parabens and stuff, but the gel does not. So we'll see. My wife doesn't really like the smell of this one. It's kind of got a old man classic type scent that she doesn't really like too much. But just for today, in honor of the cheapest shave I've got, we'll put it on. I like balms a little bit better. Gels kind of feel space age and not as nostalgic. And there we go. Yeah, I like that scent pretty well. All right. Well, there we go. Love using that tech. It's just really enjoyable. It's neat how smooth it is and how it still cuts well. And then it's just stamped steel, These things came off the assembly line. There was no forming it in a CNC machine or anything like that. It's just stamped steel that was made right, and it's got great geometry, and that's why they sold so many of them. Really enjoyable. And so there's a shave with Irish Spring for you too. And a little boar brush that I'm enjoying. So and it was an enjoyable shave, especially once the bristles and those hairs soften up. Then this very same shave can be duplicated for just pennies a day, and just have it be a ritual that you enjoy and not some kind of chore. All right, well, there we go. Hope there was something here for you. I'm Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care. Good night.